What's up, people? John. Hey. Let's get this set up. Mm. 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 What's up, people? Welcome to 21 Questions. Shay, how you doing, man? Thank you again for this, man. Seriously. Big up the sit down team all day, every day. We're soon gonna get back in it. But thank you for all your help, man. Leslie Ann, how you doing? Bobby Kasanga in the building. I see you, bro. Yeah. 21 Questions, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Today's going to be a very important one. I go by the name of IC. If you've never heard of me, I run the platform called the SITDOWN. And 21 Questions is our Insta Live segment where we invite guests on. We ask them as many questions within the allotted time. Let me add on. Cool. Now, each guest gets one pass card. If they make it all the way through without using that pass card, they win a prize. I've got the prize right here. But if they use their pass card, they don't win it. But this one's going to be a special one. Really love this gentleman, this guest. And we're going to delve deep. How's everyone doing? Was anybody outside today? If you was outside today, let me see some sunshine. Janine, how you doing? Bless, man, walking, yo. Carlito, welcome, welcome, welcome. Join us. Oh, what's this doing? Let me get this back. 21 Questions with Bobby Kasanga. Big up our sponsors, Proper Corn. They do popcorn proper. All right, we're just setting up. All right, so without further ado, let's get this cracking with 2103. I'm going to welcome on board Mr. Bobby Kasanga, an amazing story that he's going to share, and we're going to delve deeper into it. In 2015, he was sentenced to 8 years for armed robbery, but was able to change his life inside the system, and even more so outside, when he got outside, changing the lives of others. And we're going to find out how and why. So without further ado, I'm just going to invite the main man here. How you doing, bro?
What's going on, man? Yeah?
How you doing, man?
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sometimes the reception here is a bit crazy, but I can hear you.
No worries, man. How was your birthday yesterday?
Oh, pretty good, man. Pretty decent. Out in the park with the family. Enjoyed it.
Yeah. 2
Tired,
meters.
man.
2 meters and everything?
To an extent. Against with strangers, yeah, but with family, not so.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the live, man. We just really wanted to unpack your story, and I want people to know that story and spread it as far and wide as possible, because you're doing amazing things. Like, you're doing amazing things, having come from where you've come from. So we've got this is 21 questions. Questions, we've got as many questions as we can to go through in the hour. But you have one pass card.
Okay.
So if there's a question you don't want to answer,
Okay.
no problem. You can use that pass card.
Okay.
But if you make it all the way through and you don't use that pass card, you can win this prize here. We've got a prize I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at it, and you'll love it. You'll love it. So let's see how you get on. All right. So quick one. Just give us a brief kind of overview of who you are and kind of where you've come from.
Yeah, so my name is Bobby Kasanga. Turned 34 yesterday.
Yes.
Founder of Hackney Wick Football Club, originally from Congo. Been in the UK since I was 3 years old. Football is my passion. Family is my passion.
Nice.
Support Blackburn Rovers, which is quite rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a nutshell, that's me, man. That's me. Grew up in Peckham, South London.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And then moved over to Hackney.
Yes, I moved over to Hackney when I was 17, so before I finished my first year of college.
Okay, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to dive right in. I've got so many questions I want to ask you. On your platforms, you talk a lot about like your history on the roads and the stuff that you went through. But you've got an older brother, and I wanted to ask about inheriting the roads. Like some people inherit the roads through their family name. Some people inherit the roads through their older siblings.
Yeah.
Was there ever like a pressure for you to inherit that lifestyle because of who your brother was?
Not even, because he never encouraged it. He was always like, even to the fact that we're in Peckham, you have younger, you have the name. So he
Yeah.
was Mona, and then there was, if you're the younger, you'd be younger Mona, and then there'll be. So he wasn't even a fan of me being younger Mona. So I kind of forced
Wow.
that name because like people knew I was his brother, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna call myself younger Mona. So
Yeah.
he kind of just accepted it, but he wasn't a fan of me being on the roads. But I guess later on, when he saw me, I guess doing what I was doing,
Yeah.
he was okay with it basically.
Oh, so he didn't really have any main objections.
He didn't. I mean, he told me, "Oh, you don't have to do this, don't do this." But
Yeah.
when he started seeing me hang around with people, I guess in essence, he thought, "Oh, you know what? My brother's gonna come up himself now as well." So
Yeah.
he's doing his own thing now as well. So
Yeah.
even to the points where I guess money always does. So there'll be points where I'm gonna make crazy amount of money. I always come to him as
Yeah.
well. So you don't necessarily don't do that no more. The money as well. So yeah.
And did he? I remember you said in one of your stories that he found God, and that kind of changed his life. How
Oh
did that
no,
happen?
no, no! That was our younger
You're
brother.
younger. Okay. So younger and older.
Yeah, so my older brother is the one that was mainly in the road, but it's
Yeah.
my younger brother who also joined us, but he's the one who found God. And
Okay.
yeah, he's. I spoke to him yesterday actually on my birthday, but yeah. I take lots of inspiration from him because it takes a lot to sort of change your whole life around and say, you know, I'm gonna give my
Yeah.
life complete to God, and it's not even a thing where he's hypocritical about it. He's actually giving his life to God and changed his life around.
Wow. Did that affect you in any way? Was that something that you thought, okay, I'm going to go down that path as well, or was like
Not so,
that wasn't your thing?
Not so much, because the thing is, I'm religious in the sense that where I know my Bible to a certain extent, and I know
Yeah.
about faith. And when I was in jail, when I was in film, when I first into film, I tasked myself to try to read the whole Bible from beginning to end. I don't think I ever finished it, but I used to enjoy the Bible stories. I used to tell people as well, like, the Bible is a bit like the original EastEnders. Like, no disrespect to it, like there is so much
Yeah.
drama. There's so
Yeah.
much drama in the Bible that goes on. You think to yourself, wow, like, be it Samson and Delilah, be it Job, all of those things. So, but when he was sort of coming to me with the whole thing about God, is like, I got my own experience with God, and I'm not so much on the religious side of it. I'm more about just.
Oh, you're breaking up a bit. Oh, you're breaking up a little bit. Let me see. Can you hear me now still? Oh, now you're frozen. Hold on. Yeah, I can hear you now a bit. It was cutting out and then it froze. Let me try and add you again. Let me try and add you again. Let me try and add him again. Big up to all the Kasanga. And we're just taking him through 21 questions. A few technicals. Let me try and add him again. So yeah, Bob, if you join us again, and then we'll add you. So yeah, if you've never ever listened to 21 questions, if you've never been a part of it, it's all about inviting guests on and asking them 21 questions with as many questions as we can within an allotted time. And then Bob was just telling us about his younger brother taking that change, making that change through finding God. Let's see if he's back in. Cool. Make sure you make comments put your comments in the comments section. Let us know if you're feeling it, if you're connecting with what we're talking about. I go by the name of Icy, and this is the Sit Down platform. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, okay, cool. No problem. All right. Well, tell me about. I remember again in one of your stories, you were talking about like the effects of peer pressure and like how a lot of people get swept up in it. How do you get around peer pressure, especially if it's in your own group and it's your own people? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. 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 Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. Apparently, they could only hear. They would only hear hearing me. Can you hear both of us now? Hold on. All right, it's reload and come again. So, all right, I'll say that again. I think yours was on mute. Um, let's see. I can hear you. Yeah, that's weird. Hmm? Okay, cool, cool. Can't hear Bobby. All right, cool. Technical. So can you hear me then? You can hear me. He's muted. That's weird. Can't hear Bobby. Can you hear me though? Okay, so you can hear me, but let's see if we can hear Bobby. All right, 2 seconds. Do. Cool. All right, so Bobby, if you join us again, and we'll give that a go. Someone had a question here. Cool. All right, let's try and add Bobby again. Okay, I'll tell you what he's saying. Yeah, he was saying peer pressure was one of the hardest things that people have to go around because it's your friends that you're dealing with.
All right, can you hear me?
All right, let's see. I can hear you. Can
Okay,
everyone else hear?
can everyone else hear me?
Let's see. So put yes in the group if you can. Put yes in the comments if you can hear.
Yep,
Okay,
can
cool.
hear me. Yeah, okay,
Cool.
great, brilliant.
All right, no problem. So yeah, just going back to peer pressure, I was saying that peer pressure is one of the hardest things that people have to deal with. How can they make their way around that, especially because it's your friends and everything?
Yeah, and then what I was saying basically, for me, peer pressure is the number one influence on any child, more so than your own parents. And the example I was given was that it starts off as something very minor. Your parents say, okay, your curfew is 7 p.m. But your friends who you hang around in the neighborhood, their curfew is 8:30. So they'll be like laughing at you or saying, oh, we're going to stay a bit longer. And because of that pressure, you feel like, okay, even though your parents have told you to be home at 7, you decide to go against that. And it starts even when I go into schools. I told kids from young as 6, 7 about not laughing at other people because of what they got. So someone might have high techs or no brand trainers,
Yeah,
and the other kids all got Nike and so on. Because the other kid hasn't got that peer pressure and that laughing at him, that sort of bullying of him, makes him say, you know what, this gang member's going to give me 20, 30 pound a day to go and hold these guns and sell these drugs. That way I can buy my trainers. So therefore, that's how the peer pressure gets added onto as well. So, and it's hard because everybody wants to be cool in school. And that's what I'm trying to teach. I'm trying to sort of say like nerds are cool as well. Being book smart is cool as well. I'm trying to push that agenda now because what it is, I mean, I think I've done that story of how bad girls love bad boys sometimes in school, and that's what leads some kids to become bad. And so it's all about trying to make the smart kid be the cool kid again per se, because it is difficult because you want to be the guy that the girls like, you want to be the one that's invited to the parties and so on. So peer pressure is very, very hard to sort of deal with just by the education.
And what I think a lot of that can help you steer away from that is like just knowing yourself, like self-awareness and understanding who you are, making decisions based on your own compass rather than the compass of your friends. It helps you make decisions, especially the critical ones, because you
Yeah.
will know I don't want to be in that situation, so I'm not going to that. So if someone calls you to ride out or whatever, you're like, nah, but that's not my beef.
And,
You know what I'm saying?
and that's what I think I done a story like yesterday on YouTube about that as well. But it's very difficult because, like I said, once you're part of a group and you represent this group and you guys all sort of swear allegiance to each other, and one person in that group gets beaten up by someone else, even though it's his personal beef, you feel upon yourself, you need to go and take out that beef. And that's how so many kids are now sitting life in jail, because they went to go and back a beef that they didn't. And like, it's very, as an adult, it's very easy for us to say, yeah, let me know my own moral compass, let me know follow. But when you're young and your brain's still developing, you don't actually see that. You just think, you know what, this is the cool thing to do. I'm going to carry a knife. I'm going to go ride out in the up block with everyone else as well. So it's very difficult. And most of them only realize that when it's too late, when they're ready to getting their sentence, and they think, oh, why the hell did I do that? And it's crazy.
Yeah. For you, was there anything that you regret kind of doing in those like PYG days, or that played on your conscience during that time? Because sometimes it seems like that lifestyle is it's unremorseful. You did what you had to do. You know, you don't care. Was there any times that you did things that you were like, you know what, that was dead, I shouldn't have done
No, 100%. I mean, the PYGs were a few years younger than me, so I was in the YYPB. I know there's lots of but yes, but is that 100%? I said it in one of the videos. There's that time when we've done a street robbery and my friends ended up punching the boy in his face and he broken his glasses. And for me, I went home and cried about that, because I was like, what the hell am I involved in, sort of thing. So I mean, I never used to, it's bad to say, I used to go and do these things, but I always had a conscience. So when I was doing it, I knew there were bad things, but I wouldn't glorify it. Like, say, yes, we beat at those guys. Yes, I've done that robbery. It was a thing more like, you've done it to make the money, but you still know that it's wrong. There's some people who don't feel that what they're doing is wrong. There's some people who are just out there, like, you know what, we're going to go and shoot those people, and that's what we're about. But I've always had it within me, is like I said, first and foremost, I'm a Christian. So there's many people in the Bible who've done wrong as well. But you need to know, first and foremost, have the understanding of being a good person. So there's many things that I've done on the roads which I regretted. I mean, there's nothing that I can say I took joy from. It's not it was a nice experience. The only thing I look back at with sort of happiness is the friendships that I made. So some of those friendships have lasted for long. Like my business partner Brian, for example, he's someone I met in the Peckham Boys, and 20 years later we're still good friends, and we're both sort of legitimate. He never ever went to prison, and he went to university. So I look back on the friendships that I made with fondness, but some of the actions we've done, no. I mean, I look back and I cringe sometimes. I think to myself, bloody hell. Sometimes I feel like a hypocrite, because I'll be like, I'm preaching to all these kids and saying this, and I think to myself, wow, some of the stuff you done was crazy yourself. So yeah, it's difficult.
So you're almost sometimes it's sometimes catch-22 for you, like personally, internally. Definitely. How was your what was your parents' view on the situations that were happening in terms of all your brothers in that kind of lifestyle? Did you ever find out?
So the thing is, I don't think so I grew up with my uncle and auntie, who are basically my parents. Basically they raised me, but I grew up with my cousins who I treat as my brothers. So I don't think they ever realized that we was in a gang. I don't think they ever knew it was in a gang. I never ever think they actually knew what was going on. Because I guess sometimes as Africans who come here in the 80s, parents who come in the 80s, they primarily come here to look for a better life and make money. And sometimes will come into the UK without the sort of degrees of and the qualifications that you later get in life, is that you have to settle for whatever jobs you can. So for them to pay their bills, they'll have to work certain jobs. So my dad was doing sort of night shifts as a cabman. My mum will be going to do house cleaning at hotel. So them doing all of that was something that wouldn't allow them time to say, to feel, okay, what are these kids up to, what they're doing. And it was funny because my biological father was someone that was of money. I came from money. But when I came to living with my uncle, that was totally different. So for me, it's not like we didn't have, because we had every day we had food to eat. We had my brothers had the good stuff. So, but I guess it's just, again, it's that peer pressure. So my parents weren't really aware of what was going on the streets. Then they hear, oh, you've been arrested. How the hell did you get arrested? Also, African parents, you get the beats like belts and everything like that
Yeah.
as you do. But there wasn't much awareness. And if I'm completely honest, it's like with both my uncle and auntie and my biological parents, I always tell them the same things, that you guys will always sort of tell me off and say, oh, why did you do this? Why did you do that? But no one ever denied the money. No one ever didn't accept my money. Everyone accepted the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they did, what would that have an effect? If they did deny the money?
I don't know. I mean, I think I probably would have still been doing it and go, yeah, I got the money. But for me, it's an added bit of bonus. I guess it sort of authenticated a little bit what I was doing. So like, okay, like I'm doing it and you guys are complaining about it, but you're taking the money. So therefore, in essence, I'm doing the right thing, kind of thing, because I'm helping you guys basically as well. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people fall into that situation where, like, if they're trapping or whatever they're doing and it's helping the household, especially from single parent households, if you are helping your mum and filling that void that might be in the house, you're taking care of the bills, you're taking care of the rent. How bad is it, or how bad can it be what I'm doing?
Do you know what though? What I found, I realized later, a lot of people use that as an excuse. And if you ask their parents will be like, what money? Do you hear all these rappers? Yeah, I had to do what I had to do to look after mum. She was a single mum and so on. And the mum would be like, what money? You didn't give me no money. Like, that was you to go and buy your Versace and your Machinos and so on. What do you mean? Like, so a lot of time people use that as an excuse, I believe.
Interesting. Let me ask you about, at the moment, you've seen the stuff with 6ix9ine and everything.
Yeah.
How this kind of street culture is creeping into popular culture. So the street code, for example, of no snitching is now, he's made it kind of like a popular thing. How is that viewed on, I guess, from the perspective of the roads? What do you think of it bringing it into like a popular culture thing? Because not everybody, civilians don't live by that.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I mentioned this the other day. I was having a conversation in a group chat, and I said what we must remember is that 99.9% of the population are law-abiding citizens. 0.1% are probably the criminals and the ones who live by certain rules, certain lifestyle. So I guess platforms who sort of say, "Oh, he's wrong, are right to say he's wrong in what they promote and who follows them. But if it's Sky News and everyone, they'll be like, oh, good on him for telling the truth and so on. So for me, the best thing is that don't go into that lifestyle, because in that lifestyle, you know what the rules are beforehand. So you know the rules that someone might be sleeping with your missus. You know someone might be trying to cheat you. You know someone, so you know these rules. So if you're going to be a gang member living by those rules, you have to retaliate the way the gangs would. You can't then turn around and say, oh, you know what? I'm tapping out. I'm not involved no more. I didn't know what I was doing, because when you was instigating it, you knew what you was doing. So, in a law-abiding way, he done what he done. But in the hood, in the streets, he's foul for that.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. After a period of time, you ended up going in prison for the armed robbery and everything. How did you survive prison? What was your mentality going in and then settling in? Because you got your degrees, you did a lot in prison. What was your mentality and how did you survive in that?
The first day when I was remanded, when we just got arrested. We robbed £27,000 from Rains Park train station, and we got caught in Wimbledon. And I just thought, okay, as I've been arrested before in time, the judge is going to bail me out to come back to another day. But they turned around and said, yeah, remanded in custody. I was like, what? I look at my solicitor like, what do you mean remanded? I got football tomorrow. I cried. I was crying. I was like, what? I'm going to jail. At that point, I said, oh my God, like, you're actually going to jail. Like, I always feel like, I'm never going to jail. Like, even when I was doing security for robberies, it was like, I'll do a few and that'll be it. I set myself, but what happened is agreed. And I said it in one of my stories on YouTube, was that when I got on a prison van to go to the prison, I realized that one of my friends from school and another guy that was from Peckham as well was on the van, and he clocked me. I was like, yo. Then when he was there, that sort of reassured and that sort of wiping the tears, like, yo, what's going on? I had to sort of do that pretense of not being scared no more, because I was thinking that I'm hearing all these things about Feltham. So it weren't until like when I started talking to him on the van, he's like, yeah, my man is in there, this guy's in there. I'm like, bro, like what? The whole team's in there, like people that I've grown up with are all in this. I'm like, all right, calm. So when we got to the Feltham prison, I remember they put me on the wing. They put me in the cell. I looked and there's a TV there. I was thinking, oh, fucking, I'm gonna be bored. Because when you're in a police cell, just bore them. You can't wait to get the police cell. Just bore them. So sometimes when you get arrested, you can't wait to go to prison because you know you're gonna be charged. You can't wait to go to prison. But when you're in the police cell, just have to bore them. So I was quite surprised when I got to film. I was like, oh, there's a TV. I sat down to my chocolate biscuits and watched EastEnders. And I thought, yeah, this is calm. But it was at night time when because at that time in Feltham, they switched off your TV at 12 o'clock. So at midnight, your TV switched off. So what you need to do, your room has to be immaculate. You have to make your bed. You have to be out of bed by a certain time. So when they come and inspect your room, they give you a score out of 100. If you score 100 for cleanliness in your room, your TV kept on all night. So
wow.
My TV got I don't know if it's changed now, but that's when it was. That was 2007. So the TV got locked off, and then that's when it was just my thoughts, and I could see airplanes from my window because Feltham's near Heathrow, so you can see airplanes going on. And I was just playing the game. I played these little stupid games with myself, like thinking, where's this plane going? And I think, oh, I might be going to Congo, I might be going to wherever it's going. And then when it was time to sort of sleep, I was like, I'm in jail. I mean, I was trying to reach for my phone. I'm like, you even got a phone? So it was very surreal. It's very. And the next day, my brethren, young Mark, who I'm working and collaborating with a few stuff there, he's like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, right, you're on the wing as well. And then I was just alright. It felt like a youth club at the time. It felt like a youth club when I was in Feltham. I was one of the older ones. I was 20. I was one of the older ones, and a lot of people in Feltham are between sort of 16 to
16, yeah.
Yes, I'm quite tall, so I've been 6'2" for a long while now. So there's a thing that where I'm a bit sizable as well, so I got a bit of size on me, so it wasn't a thing that where anyone could really try a thing. And because I had the affiliation of a lot of people from Peckham, I kind of settled in really quick while I was in there.
How did you make the most of the time? Because some people go in, it is a holiday, and they come out and it's like whatever. But you know, you studied there, you got your degrees, criminology. What made you go that way again? That mindset.
No, so this is what happened basically. So initially, I didn't have that mindset. Initially, like, yeah, I'm gonna come out and think, no, when I get out, I'm gonna be a bit smarter about how I do things, because I knew doing security band robberies was making me a lot of money. So I just thought, yeah, I got caught because of my own stupidity. Next time it won't be so much. So initially, when I got sentenced, I got sentenced to 5 years to do 2.5. And what happened was, the only thing I'd done really was read my Bible. And that's how I knew so much about it. I used to love the Bible stories. But once I was released, that's why I say it's 8 years, because I'd done 7 months out and I was back in jail again for more security robberies. Wow. So it was only on that second point when they rearrested me again while I was out. I said, I'm going to spend a long time in jail. I knew the judge was going to try and crucify me. So my first day there was like, you know what? Let me go to the education department. So I was in HAP Pentonville and told them, look, I was in the top set at school. I went to college. I studied for 4 A-levels, but I dropped out. I want to get my education going back again. But what they told me was that everyone comes up to them and told them, oh, they want to do a degree, and they waste money giving people funding, and then the people just give up. So they've done a test with me. So like for a whole month, they gave me different tests to do to take back to my cell, and I was doing it. And when they proved that, you know what, he's actually on it, they gave me a chance to do my degree in criminology and social policy. And then I also wrote 2 books while I was in there. Nice. So we've written those 2 books. It was based around a murder that I was arrested for. And everyone sort of wanted to know, like, what was your involvement in that? So when I done the book, it's a bit of a sort of a thriller, thinking, did he do it, did he not do it? Yeah. And I used to give people snippets on Facebook, and it just took off. Like, everyone's reading it in prisons everywhere. And from the back of that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to release it when I come out. And that's when I started filming the series, when I've come out and the life I live. But also, I had a casino when I was in jail. I had a bookies, I had a shop. So I've always been sort of entrepreneurial. So wherever you put me, I try to make the most of it. And for me, all the money you're making outside, when you go inside, people forget about you. Like, you ask someone, yo, send me some P, and you'll be waiting forever. So in the end, I decided to open my own casino. I decided to open my own bookie, so people used to come to me to do their football bets, to do their horse racing, and that added so much income into that. It also helped me to sort of send money back to my daughter, because my daughter had been born and I couldn't provide. So I'll be like, put money in my sister's account and she'll send to her. So it kept me occupied. It kept me occupied.
How was it being? How old was your daughter at that time?
When I initially went in the first time, she wasn't born. So she was born 18th of June 2008, and that was like when I was already in jail for like 4 months. So I missed that, and then as I said, that my other daughter just woken up now. She must be sleeping, but yeah. So she's coming over.
Hey.
But go to sleep. Okay, I'm sorry. The baby's involved now. Hang on. You're meant to be sleeping, Baba. Yeah. So
Hey.
say hello.
Cutie.
Okay. Now let me try and turn this to sleep. Come. You need to sleep. Good night. Good night. Go to sleep. Yeah. So yeah. So she was, and then she was 18 months when I went back in, and if we didn't get to really have a relationship until 5 years ago when I was actually released properly and stayed out of prison. So it's allowed me to sort of, build that bond with her afterwards. But we never initially had that because all she ever knew was me in jail. And I remember she used to come to my sister used to call me and say like, oh, she's saying, how come her daddy never picks her up from school? That's the sort of thing that used to hurt me because she would have her friends' dads that will pick her up from school. Is that, oh, how come my dad never picks me up from school? And sort of trying to explain to that. And later on, as she's growing up, I guess she's very proud. She's like, she tells her friends, oh, my daddy's on this YouTube show or on this, because she sees me on different shows and that. So it allows her to sort of be proud of something that I've changed around to be as well.
Nice. And how do you, as a parent now, navigate like raising your children because of where you've kind of come from? Like the stuff that you talk about, are you open with them about everything and letting them know?
Yeah, I mean, she's 18, 20 months now. 19 months? 20, she's 20 months now. So she ain't got a clue about, like, I always called her my best friend because with my grown-up daughter, like I said, we built up a relationship afterwards. But like, she's very, what can I say? She's very Essex because she lives in Essex. So it's like, even today, when I was dropping her to my sister's house, going through Homerton, she went, I don't like this area. I'm like, what do you like this area? She said, it looks very dangerous. It looks very dangerous. I'm like, I was like, what makes it dangerous? She said, I don't know. It looks very dangerous. So, but she's very much of a way because like, she knows what I went to prison for. I've told her about it. So one of the things I always tell her about, what do you want to do when you grow up? Don't make mistakes and so on. And I guess the difference with Sarai, which is the girl here, is that I never got to experience my daughter being born, my first daughter being born. So with her, with Sarai, I saw everything from the scan, from being there at the birth, watching her walk for the first time, watching her trying to speak, eat. So it's like, it fills me with so much joy, and it makes me think, you know what, I need to try harder. I need to try harder to make sure, like, I set the standards for them. So even to a point that we're taking that life insurance, that I know that, okay, let me leave them a legacy. So if anything ever happens to me, that I've left them something that they can have a start up with. So it's changed me as a person. I mean, I've still got my flaws. I've still got things I need to work on. Every day is still a struggle. But it's something that I mean, I want a son as well. I could just purely for football reasons, I want a son as well. But yeah, we'll see.
Nice. So you came out of prison and you started Hackney Wick Football Club. Why football? Because you could have just been, I don't know, you could have just been a lover of football and that's it. But you said, nah, I see that there's no team. Let me create a team. What made you go that kind of route?
So initially, when I was in jail, I used to get the non-league paper, which is basically a weekly newspaper about non-league football teams and so on. And I was desperate to come back and resurrect my career because I played semi-pro myself. And I remember I used to write letters to different teams that when I come out of prison, I told them I'm getting my D cap, which means I can start going. I said, I want to come and train with your team. Some teams were like, yeah. But then when I got out, it was like, I looked at the time as well, let me start a team. It's all right. I was like, let me start a team in Peckham. I was like, let me start a team in Peckham. And then I realized it was already a Peckham Town FC. I was like, I even had the whole nickname for it. I made a badge. I said, we're going to call ourselves the Doughboys after Only Fools and Horses guys. Well. Nice. But I got out and I went to play football again. My old team, Corinthian Casuals, they invited me over to come and play. And I remember traveling far and I wasn't fit and I wasn't playing matches. And I thought, let me just stay local. And I'm looking at teams in Hackney, and there was only one team, Sporting Hackney, and they're like in the 12th tier of British football. I'm like, they're so far down. And I remember trying to do a little mini documentary myself about non-league football. And I remember being in, near the Hackney Marshes. I saw a group of young men playing football, and they're telling me, so one got released from Arsenal, one got released from Coventry. They just come there every day to keep fit and get ready for pre-season, for next season, and so on. I was like, well, there's no local team. They're like, no. They're like, there's no local team. I told them there and then, you know, guys, I'm going to start a team. And they all laughed at me because they even joke about it to this day. They're like, I had on what you call it, boot cut jeans and slippers, and like, who's this bushman that's telling us he's gonna come and start a football club? But from that day, I said I'm gonna start a football team for the local area, and then I was looking at names in Hackney Wick, the area that my mum lived at, so I thought, you know, I'm gonna call it Hackney Wick. So, and that's where we started.
How did it have an effect on the young boys that were coming, having that team there?
Oh, amazing! I mean, when you start a team, everybody told you they're Ronaldo, they're Rooney. So when I started the team, like, I'm a good player. Because at that point, it's about giving opportunity to anyone, but just to start up the team. Yeah. But what I told them, my mindset was, you don't just play for the team. If you play for the team, you actually have to represent the team. By representing the team, you have to volunteer. Because I'm saying, if you want the people of Hackney to support you, you must also support the people of Hackney. So I set a standard that if you play for the team, you have to subscribe to volunteering at least 2 hours a month to different causes. It don't happen all the time. Whenever something's on, I'll message the group chat, guys, I need 3 or 4 of you guys to go and volunteer over here. So they're all registered to volunteer. So with that, it actually starts giving them sort of skill sets to go and be organized, get somewhere on time, work within a team and so on. And then we start getting them job opportunities and so on. So with a lot of them, it's changed their lives around. Whereas that they would just want to play for a football team, but now there's a football team with responsibilities. Because some of them now, like Jaden, for example, he coaches our women's team. We've got Serge, who coaches our under-12 teams. So it's about sort of giving them the skill sets to actually help them with their own lives, get them paid, but also they can bring back to their community too.
Yes, 100%. I love that, man. Tell me about, was there any like wow stories that you had, like young people that came from the team and just went on to do massive things?
I mean, there's 2 players. Louison, he's over at Tottenham at the moment, and also a girl called Bianca. She's also at Tottenham at the moment. And yeah, like I said, for example, I mentioned Jaden all the time. Like, we got him his first ever job. He's now coaching our women's team. Simon's been with me since he was 19. He got his degree. He's now working for. And I really, it's so funny. This is the part that I find so funny. That I've got a criminal record. I've only been out of prison 5 years ago, but people come to me for references. Oh, I'm going for a job. Can I put you down as a reference? And I think to myself, like, me? Like, and so many people got their jobs on the back of that. Employers will call me, go, oh, hi, are you Bobby? I'm like, yeah, so-and-so's put you down as a reference to get this job. Can you tell me about them? And I give them a good reference. I think to myself, wait, me is getting these people into jobs, so it's great. So we've got like feel good stories all the time. At the same time, we do have our tragic stories. I mean, we've got one player who end up getting arrested and convicted for attempted murder, and this was like literally the second game into our initial season when we first started. He had one of the number 9 kits, so I was calling like, "Where's the number 9 kit? He's like, I'm coming soon," and then he didn't turn up. And then later on, my other friend called me, "Do you see what your player done?" Like, what? No, he done a murder. At the time, he got arrested for murder, but he got convicted of sort of manslaughter in the end, actually. So there's a thing that where you think to yourself that as much as you're trying to save everyone, they need to also save themselves as well.
Yeah. Can we have a round of applause in the comments section, please? Just give me your hand clap. Because that's beautiful work, and it doesn't always get shouted about. But there's people in the community that are trying to do what they can to make it better, and you're doing that, bro. So that's one of the main reasons I really wanted to like talk with you, because I love it, and I don't even know you personally, but I'm proud of you, and I'm proud of how you turn your life and how you turn others' lives around. Seriously, man. So going on to like the stories that you tell on your live and like your YouTube,
You go into detail. You go into detail, names, everything. How do you navigate that? Do you have to
Oh,
go for it? Or,
I've got a lot of backlash from so many people. So initially, how it started. So remember, I said I wrote the 2 books while I was in prison. So everybody that reads the book used to tell me the same thing all the time. The book is too descriptive. This has to be a series. This has to start in a football club. So that's going to be coming out soon on some big platforms. However, I said, you know what? Everybody always likes a story that I told in jail. So I'm going to produce this myself. So I've got a whole team together and we've got all the local young people to be actors and giving them opportunity to write the script. So we started filming that, but I wanted to set the tone of Peckham.
hold on, Bobby, hold on. They're saying they can't hear again. Okay, is that better now? Okay, cool. That's better now. Okay.
It's back.
Okay, cool.
Okay, where should I go from? When did I stop hearing from?
You said you got an agent.
Yeah, so basically I got an agent who has got a big production company to buy the rights to my life story of coming out of prison and starting a football club. So it's the same company that makes Discovery or Riches for Sky One, His Dark Matters for BBC One. So they bought the rights to tell my story basically. But I wanted to tell the story of the prison stories and why I got arrested for murder and how my life changed to sort of get kids against the whole peer pressure thing, how I got arrested how I ended up getting arrested for murder when I was a good footballer. So to set the tone for that, I started telling tales of different murders in Peckham. So when I go, this is the story of so and so, and then from there it started blowing up. Everyone started, and then obviously there were some cases that people weren't happy with. I guess family members will be unhappy, right? Like if they're saying, why this person telling the story of my son or my, what do you call it? And I was basically trying to say, look, I mean no disrespect, but I'm telling the story of what is already out there. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is fact. What it is that a family member say, this is not true, that's not what happened. But that's you telling me this. So I can't take your word for that, if that makes sense, because you can tell me your version, right? But all I say is that I'm not saying what I'm saying is the truth. I'm saying this is what was reported in court. So from the back of that, it started getting, I mean, there were some cases people from Peckham would call my brother and say, oh, I'll tell your brother, what is he doing? Why has he put that up and so on? And people get angry about so and so. And there'll be others, which understandable, where some were unsolved. People like, no, put that down because that could be a bit peak for. So I said, cool, I'll take those ones down. And then it got to the point that where people from different areas, and like I said, I started with Peckham because I wanted to set the scene for my series. Because I want people to understand how Peckham was in 2005 to 2011 when the series is set. And then people from everywhere start saying, oh, can you do a story of this one in Lewisham? Can you do a story of this one in Streatham and this one in Leicester and Birmingham?
People are starting to request it.
Yes, and it got to the point where it got to that everyone wanted to. So I started putting it on YouTube because the whole point was that, you know what, I'm all about ownership. So I'm like, I can try to put this on someone else's platform, but why not create my own platform and put the series on there? So I started building up the fan base through that. So by the time the series comes out, we're gonna have people following it. And then I remember just doing an Instagram live last year, talking about prison and how it gets crazy in prison, and it got to 200,000 views on Instagram. I was like, whoa, that was crazy. I had 200,000 views on Instagram. People really wanted to hear the story. So I ended up putting it on YouTube, and then I done a story about being banged with a life on YouTube just 3 weeks ago, and then it took off. And then before I knew it, I done a story of being recruited as a Peckham boy. To this day, it's got 240,000 views, and I'm thinking that's numbers that musicians hope to get, and people actually buying into these stories. They like it, and at the same time, again, I have people from Peckham calling and saying, "Oh, telling my brother, oh, he hasn't got the right to talk about this story or that person and this person," and I had to sort of rebut with that and say, "Wait a minute, I'm from Peckham. I grew up there. You can't tell me I can't talk about unless I'm saying I saw this person shoot this person. I'm saying I was with this person when this person happened. So you can't take away my experience with that person. Could there be some people say that, oh, you can't talk about this person because he died, but I'm like, I can still explain it in terms to give a learning point. You know, then some people, old school people from Peckham, like Raver, he's come to me and said, bro, I fully support what you're doing. Like, no one can tell you, no one can tell us that you're not from Peckham. You was there from the beginning. So even then, someone even started a page where they're trying to troll me and my brother, saying that, oh, you guys are not from Peckham. And Rave, I said that I dare you speak about these guys like that. That these are my guys that were there from Peckham. So, and what I realized, what I'm struggling to do, and I said it yesterday. I have to start ignoring trolls, because what it is, there's always gonna be someone who have an opinion. And if I'm trying to teach kids about peer pressure and say, look, don't listen to other people, I need to set by example. And if someone comments something negatively, just bless them and say, oh, good on you. But it's actually taken off, like, to the point that where I'm telling more people to start going into their lives. Because my story is interesting, yeah, because I started Hackney Football Club, but there's people with deeper stories than me. And I'm saying, if I wasn't the baddest person from Peckham and my views are like this, imagine your story, who done all of this in Peckham. And like I said, I got paid £1,000 from YouTube last month just for my stories. Ooh. So if I can make £1,000 from YouTube for my stories, what more can you guys do? So it's all about empowering and also encouraging people to take ownership of their own stories, their own lives, and make more money for themselves as well.
Yeah. And the thing is, these stories give they give a human touch to it, because when you talk about your stories, but you talk about you went and cried because someone got punched in the face, then I realized that, oh, you know what? Nobody is out here just on a heartless thing, 100%.
Yeah.
There's feelings, like people have family, people have friends, people have concerns. That even though you're a gunman, you still cry. There's still issues that you're dealing with, and I think it's important to tell your story from your perspective, to show these people, the youngers especially, that there are lessons to be learned through this madness, especially that you're still here and you're still alive. There's people that have gone through madness, unfortunately passed away, or they're doing life, but you come out on the other end still standing and have learned things. And I think it's the lessons that we need to get out there, that, you know what, I get it, but you know,
I mean, like I said, first and foremost, we're all human beings with emotions. Yeah, but even the baddest of bad man, when he goes home to his mum, he's respectful. Like, mum said, go and take out the bin. He's taking out the bin. Go into the room. But on the streets, it's got a different persona. So if we can try to tap into that human side of it, because there'll be people who message me like, and sometimes I feel so bad because my inbox is so inundated that I'll see messages and feel, okay, I need to respond. But there's so much messages and people wishing me well, people telling me, look, can I look into this for them? And I want to help everyone, but I just can't. But I'm so overwhelmed that people are actually taking these stories and say, you know what? That helped me change my mindset. You know, what you told me in that story there is made me go a different way. I'm seeing no one's been telling us the truth like this. People glorify the roles and actually seeing the consequences of it actually helps that. But for anyone that's listening who's messaged me and I've not messaged you back, total apologies. There's just so much and I can't get through them all.
Yeah, beautiful. Last question I want to ask is, what would be your advice for someone who's in that madness? They watch your stuff, you know, they follow what you're doing, they want to get out, but they just don't know how. What steps could they take that could help them?
I love this saying that goes, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step.
Yeah.
So it might be a thing that where you hang around with your friends every day, you might reduce it. You might start hanging around only 3 times a day. Because on that 4th day is the day that they went and done a murder. But you didn't go with them that day. You didn't hang around with them that day. So the less you do the things that you normally do, the easier it becomes to take away yourself from that. The hard part of it is that those who are in it, who are making money through illegal activities, because I can't now say, look, here's money. I can't put money in your pockets. But I'm trying to teach you how to make money. For example, now, I started selling tab about 3 weeks ago.
Yes, yeah.
And it's basically the same essence of shotting. I'm going around buying a whole load, cooking it, selling it up, and reloading again. And I just taught people an illegal trade. Again, the YouTube, I just started telling my story, and now it's got me paid £1,000 just from YouTube. So there's different ways you can make money. All you have to do, and my saying is, think outside the blocks. To always people think bigger than their environment, think bigger than who they hang around with. Because your friend is your friend for now. But many people who you hang around with when you're 15, 16, you won't hang around with them in 15 years' time.
It's true.
It's very rare that you'll be with them with 15 years' time. Some will get killed, some will go to jail. And remember, once you start having kids and children and family, that becomes your priority, not your family no more. That becomes your priority. So I just tell them, like, look at the consequences. Don't look at just what I've been saying. Look at the stories I've been telling. When I say this is the story of Gavin, this is the story of Paul, all those murders that's happened, take heed and look, that could be you as well. And to an extent, COVID-19 has been a harsh reality for what's been going on at the moment. But I think it saved so many youths.
Ooh.
It has saved so many youths. Because by now, we'll probably be on our 17th teenage murder right now.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Heading into the summer. We'll be getting to that. So many kids now are saved because they're not visibly active. So, yeah, man.
I didn't see it like that at all. Damn. Bro, thank you so much for
I appreciate it.
Your time, man. And I always will be championing what you're doing, because it's amazing things you're doing for the community. Big up Shay for connecting us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, big up Shay, man. Big up Shay.
Anytime you need like to push your stuff, like we're here 100%. When that stuff takes off with the book as well, please let us know, because we want to keep pushing people like you and put you out there, let people see you, man. So God bless you, God bless your family, bro. We wish you all the best, man.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good night, people.
Take care, man. Think outside the blocks. Guys, thank you for joining us, man. 21 questions with Bobby Kasanga. I want you to write some things in the comment section that you kind of took away from today's conversation. He said, like he said at the end, like, think outside the blocks. That's powerful, you know, and you can see all his kind of entrepreneurial steps he's taken with the food, with the football, with the books, with the YouTube. Think outside the four walls, but also the four corners of your block. There's so much more out there. We just need to take a trip outside your ends and realize there's more outside the ends, the roads, the stabbings, the killings and all that. And I'm not even in that life, so I'm not saying it's that easy, but you can see from his stories and you can see from what he talks about that there are other avenues you can take, you know. Let's see what things you took away. I think I took away was thinking before, I don't know what he said there. Look at the bigger picture, what some of the things that he said. All football I'm involved. We're allowed to ask questions. Oh, time's kind of, yeah, I would have done questions, but time's talking the hardest. Think outside the blocks. Cool. All right, guys, well done. Thank you for tuning in. This is going to be on our IGTV. It's also going to be on our YouTube page, Sit Down UK. It's going to be on our podcast page on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. All of it, the Sit Down UK. I'll put it right here so you can see. All right. All right. And if you want to follow anything that we're doing, just make sure you follow this page. We do it every Thursday, 21 questions, where we invite different guests on and just ask as many questions as we can within that time. Thank you for your time. I've been IC. Take care and God bless.